you doing? So today I decided that I would do a little video on anxiety, and it seems to be that the more and more people that I speak to, I find that the more and more people I learn suffer from this. And what I wanted to talk to you about is how most people presume that their mind is controlling them when they have anxiety and that they're powerless and helpless to it. But in actual fact, there's nothing wrong with the way that your mind's working. Your mind is actually working too well almost. So let me explain a little bit about anxiety. And when we're born, we have two things that we are hardwired to be scared of. And they're both put in for our protection. They're inbuilt. And they've been around since probably the caveman days. So the first one is a fear of falling. So you'll be able to understand that when you are dropping off to sleep at night and you do a kind of jolty thing, like you're falling off your bed. Well, that's inbuilt and you can't get rid of that. And the second one is a fear of sudden loud noise. So if you were walking along the street and all of a sudden a brass band started up behind you and you would jump, and that again is inbuilt. Everything else we've learned. We've learned how to be scared of it. And for some people, they have a fear of flying. So let's look at that. So they would get anxious. So they would be anxious, maybe weeks before, maybe even months before they go. And then the closer they get to leaving, the worse the anxiety gets. And then they maybe arrive at the airport and drink a few drinks and maybe pop a sedative, all to try and get them through a flight. Now that flight is potentially taking them to a fabulous holiday, but they can't start to enjoy the holiday until they've got the flight over with. Now, if a fear of flying was something that was genuine, like the fear of falling, then everybody would have it. So how come some people can get on a flight and sit down, start reading their book and get excited about their holiday, where other people get on a plane and sit in terror until it lands? So let's look at the supermarket. For some people, when they have anxiety, they have a fear of going into the supermarket and meeting people and talking to people. But for the majority of people, they walk into a supermarket and all they're thinking about is what food they need to buy before they get back out again. And if they bump into anybody, fine. But if they don't, fine. So what's happening in these scenarios is that the people who are scared of these things and feel anxious are just playing a different movie in here. And as a coach, we can really help with that and get you to a place where you understand why you're being anxious and that actually there's nothing wrong with you. Your mind is just firing off anxious signals at too many things. And all we have to do is start getting rid of those things. So I ask the question of you today, how many of the things that you live in fear of actually come true? And everybody has a safe place. When you're anxious, you've developed a safe place. And for some people, they've maybe even attached their safety to somebody else. So their partner or their house, or for some people, their bedroom under the blankets. And that everything else outside of that feels scary and pressure. But all of these things can be removed again. So you may well feel at the moment that you're a prisoner of your own mind. But with the right help and in a very short space of time, that can all be completely different. So thanks for listening. And my next little video that I'll do, I'll explain a little bit more about depression Because mental health is such a huge thing now for us. And in Scotland, 1 in every 3 people that you come into contact with suffers from some form of mental health issue. Why are we all still so scared to talk about it? Bye for now.